my argument, build more prisons. We need to have a consequence. We also need to...
Not work. Listen, I have grown up. I've grown up in some of these communities that you guys are talking about, and prison always, it's not a deterrent. If you don't change the environment, you won't change anything, and that's the key thing. If you don't change the environment, this has been happening for years, okay? Years, yeah? And it's not always in the media, but it won't change.
There is a massive place for rehabilitation.
It's going to take several things to come together. Yes, policing is one thing, but at the end of the day, all of you guys on that side, you benefited, yeah, from the environment that you've grown up in, okay? Yeah. You benefited from being in this work environment. I've benefited from it. But these boys, not all of them get to benefit from the environment. If you don't show them something else, you won't change it.
I was sat there, in a way actually getting enraged, because it's quite hard for me as a mixed race person that has grown up in some of the areas that these boys come from, just to sit back and say nothing. It's easy to point the finger when you've not actually lived that life. Just throwing stop and search out there as a way to kind of fix it all is not the answer. What we see in the media is the end result. You don't see that person, that young boy, that young black boy as a child. It's like the media, we have a responsibility to portray these stories correctly. It's important to balance them and to also show the role models that are out there, because there's hundreds of young black boys, young black men that are positive role models in their community. But whenever we have these debates on television, you often find that the people that are being debated aren't always represented on the programme. In hindsight, it would be lovely to have someone from the community come on and balance the argument and actually talk from experience. For me, as a mixed race person, my dad's black, I feel very connected with my community. I can't just sit back and not say anything. That's why I had to shout across the studio floor, especially when they were talking about building more prisons. Prison isn't the answer. I've spoken to young boys, young men that say that prison is not a deterrent. They're not scared of going to prison. Don't put these boys into prison if you can help it. That's what I say. Teach them something else. Show them a different way, because often that's when you lose young boys, into the system forever. They go into prison often for doing something quite petty, and then they join up with other like-minded people that give them other ways in which they can commit crime.